Hello, ladies and gentlemen out there. This is the Black Spot 1987 with a reading from the Rotten Library's Hoaxes folder. This one entitled Male Impersonators. Male Impersonators specifically links you to Billy Tipton. Billy Tipton. Imagine the coroner's surprise in 1989 when the cadaver he was doing a routine job with, jazz musician and entertainment agent Billy Tipton, turned out to be a woman. So came down the curtain on a brilliant deception spanning over 50 years, when an inspiring young lady named Dorothy Tipton decided to remake herself over as a man and live that way for the rest of her life. At the age of 19 in 1933, Dorothy, who had already taken to calling herself Tippy in high school, obtained legal documents listing her as a man and began dressing in traditional male clothes and calling herself Billy. Friends knew this, and it was no big deal, even as Billy went on to marry the first of 5 wives. Playing in jazz clubs throughout Kansas City and in other parts of the country, Tipton built a small name as an accomplished performer and writer. Several opportunities arose over her life and to take the lead position in several clubs and bands, but she turned them down, possibly to avoid publicity. In fact, nearly all of Tipton's moves are fascinating in the pure mechanics of the fraud, with the different parts of her life clicking in place, like an Agatha Christie novel. All clear in retrospect. Her marriages were common law. Her 3 sons were adopted. 4 of the 5 wives had no idea they'd married a woman. Billy claimed a medical condition requiring the wearing of a truss that concealed the truth from them. As time went on, this process must have gotten easier and easier until it was effortless. After playing jazz for nearly 50 years, Billy moved into agency, representing clients in Spokane, Washington, although the practice naturally declined as well. This is not to say that Tipton's life was a complete and utter success. No life is. She ended every marriage she got into, had a habit of occasionally being absent as a father and as a spouse, and the necessary aspect of maintaining her male status made some parts of life very difficult indeed. Most problematic was a refusal to take Social Security or Medicare towards the end of her life, accelerating health problems more than they might otherwise have, and we can only know how many doctor's visits she avoided, which might have made a cold or other illness less prolonged. Billy's need to avoid the spotlight means ironically her place in jazz, the very music she made all these difficult choices to be able to play in, was destined to be a minor one at best. But all told, this is less a hoax than someone who made a decision on how they wanted to live and held to that choice for the rest of their life. The fact that it required a decades-long dance of carefully chosen words and subtle glances just makes it fascinating for the rest of us. Rest well, Dottie.